What is going on, beautiful people? It is your man Dre Mac. Early in the morning, you already know we're doing the Dre Mac show early in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. I kept getting kicked out of StreamYard, so that's why I wasn't able to immediately start at 6:30. Of course, we're going to be going over The Last of Us. Lord have mercy. The Last of Us episode number 4. I am going to be playing some scenes throughout that. So if you have not seen episode 4, I guarantee you don't want to stick around for this because this is going into spoiler territory. Most definitely spoiler territory. So again, if you haven't seen it, might as well click off of this today. But also, I'm going to be talking about a couple things. The Black Panther Disney cruise video that has surfaced. I'm going to actually talk about that at the beginning. So you already know what it is. You know how we get this thing started. The real question is, are you ready? All right, all right. Batman. Oh, Chillmugger's in the house. My brother is in the house. What is going on? Um, I ain't gonna lie. I'm on the last episode of Super God Master Force. And I wasn't gonna do the show until I got finished that episode, but I paused it just for you guys. Man, that show became completely freaking awesome during the last portion of that. That mug is like stupid good towards the end. And I'm so glad my brother put me on to that show. How's everybody doing this morning? Hopefully everybody's good, everybody's fine. Like I said, my man Chillmonger is in the house. Mika G is in the house. I'm going to list off, I'm gonna put it in the description of my bio. But Mika, Chill, Tim Talk, Super K-Dye, Planet Fanatics, all the guys that rock with me, I rock with y'all. Blues House, Popcorn in Your Beard. I'm gonna put a link to all you guys' stuff. So if they check me out, I want to make sure that they check you out too. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure to get that done. What is this crap? What is this? What is this crap? So yeah, I'm gonna make sure to do that. Let me see. I want to start off because I didn't do it immediately when it came out because the weekends is my time. I spend time with my family and all that. I found out my son has now surpassed me in Dragon Ball Super, so I would no longer be getting whooped by him like that. That was totally unfair. I'm talking about I've never ever got whooped like the way that I got whooped in Dragon Ball Super. So yeah, not doing that again. Uh I know Chill did a video about the Disney cruise, and I might have to pull up that video if you don't mind, Chill, if you're still in the house. Let me see. I know it's under my because I retweeted it. I retweeted from E-Man too. E-Man from E-Man's movie review. Um, and the reason why I want to pull up this video is that the reason I really want to pull up this video is because, for one, I got too many anti-recasters that just be on Twitter talking nuts. They be saying some stuff like, dude, oh my god, I've been in hyperbolic time chamber telling nephew I got him. When I tell you this dude combo be to death. I was like, man, I quit. My hands ain't. You know how you be playing and your wrist gets tired. Like I ain't got the muscle memory no more, man. I will work too much to be sitting around getting my wrists all jacked up. So I'm gonna let him know that his uncle is ready for him. Because man, I'm done. I'm done with him. He can have that game. For real. I'm not getting beat up in nobody's video game ever again like that. That was totally embarrassing. Let's go. Let's start off with this here. I want to show you. Matter of fact, I want to show you guys this first. Before I get to anything, I want to show you guys this. And I know Chillmonger has done a video on this. I haven't talked about it yet because I was waiting a little bit. Of course, Last of Us comes out on Sunday, so I'm gonna talk about it on Sundays. I think the Last of Us episode 5 is on Friday because of the Super Bowl. They're not going to compete with the Super Bowl. So I think it's Friday, so I might do a reaction video on Sunday. I might actually just do a video. I might go live. It doesn't matter. But I do want to show you guys this. And I believe this is from a Disney cruise. And this is Black Panther Shuri and Black Panther T'Challa. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it real quick. I'm going to mute this just for a second because I want to play this. Let's go. I missed you so much. Why? I have always been right here. Let's do this. Wakanda forever! Now, as short as this clip is, how cool would have been? Let me play it back for y'all. Let me one more time. Let me run it back just so y'all can. What are you doing? Let me run it back for y'all just one more time. Hold up. Get this out the way.
I missed you so much. Why? I have always been right here. Let's do this. Wakanda forever!
All right. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of loud in my ear. Let's talk about this just for a second, because remember, recasters say that nobody, it was too soon. They couldn't get another T'Challa. T'Challa's dead. Get over it. They, the movie was Wakanda Forever was special. It was a tribute to Chadwick Boseman. They could never bring another T'Challa back. Variants are not T'Challa. Those are not variants. Those are different people. They're not T'Challa. And this literally was on a Disney cruise. Literally was on a Disney cruise, showing you the power that they could actually do by bringing both characters back. Now, with this bringing both characters back, that shows you the dynamic of Black Panther T'Challa being there for his sister, number one, elevating both, number two, not downplaying one to uplift another, number three, that the multiverse can work in this way, and how badass it would have been for T'Challa to come back in Wakanda Forever. That would have been badass. I mean, you could have did. It literally, the King of the Dead storyline would have made this moment amazing. People wouldn't complain because I looked online. Well, Twitter's Twitter, but Twitter does have a voice. I can't say that. And there was people really complaining for the first time seeing Wakanda Forever. I'm talking about complaining. So my thing is that they had an opportunity to bring them back. And that moment, I'm not gonna lie, even watching it for a second time, watching it for a third, it gives me goosebumps. You know what I'm saying? Every time I see that. And obviously that's not Chadwick Boseman's voice because he's gone on to be with the ancestors. So somebody can actually do that voice. I mean, there's an actor out there that could be able to portray that character in a way where you start to feel and understand the importance of T'Challa. Again, Black Panther is a story about the Wakandan prince who becomes king and what all entails about him ruling this kingdom. John Ridley don't get it. Ryan Coogler doesn't get it. Nate Moore doesn't get it. But somehow a goddamn Disney cruise gets it better than what we seen on film. Is that amazing or what? Or am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm losing my mind and I'm just making up stuff. But it seems like they got this right. They seem like they got this right. And this is Eban because I retweeted it from him. He said, "When I kept saying to eventually recast T'Challa, this was just one of two ways it could happen. Notice how beautiful it is to have two strong Black heroes standing side by side at the same time. Marvel Studios could give me all of the feels in the future Black Panther movie. I mean, you can. I'm sorry. Again, what I do normally when I'm looking for like the importance of a movie is not just the actual box office, it's merch. When you go to a concert, you're paying for the concert, but you're going to get one of the Rolling Gangster t-shirts. And if you don't know what a Rolling Gangster t-shirt is, you don't know cinema. But I'm telling you, you're going to buy merch. When you find your favorite artist, you got extra money, you're going to buy a t-shirt. You're going to buy a wristband, or you're going to buy something that shows you that number one, you're invested into the person you're going to go watch. And number two, it's memorabilia for you. So you can always have that ticket, the shirt, whatever. You could put it up like, man, I went to the Beyonce concert, got me a Beyonce shirt, and I got this and I got that with the ticket. You could all put it in your little time capsule or whatever you do, like how I got, my collection back here. You're gonna put that there, and you're gonna be able to have that. And when I see, the Wakanda Forever merch and stuff like that, there's plenty of that crap. It's plenty of that crap. And the movie has been out since what? November? And they still got Wakanda Forever merch. A lot of it. Unfortunately, it's a lot of and I feel so bad for Letitia Wright because she kind of got thrust into this situation with this Black Panther movie. But there's a lot of merch that she could have been able, like a lot of her dolls and stuff like that. I hate to say it, but nobody's buying it for it. It's not like when Black Panther 1 first came out, it was very, first of all, the first, let's take it back. The first Black Panther figure had a face that didn't look like Chadwick. But that mug sold out because it's hard to find. And if you buy it on the aftermarket, buy it on eBay, Mercari, it's gonna run you a good penny. Just being because I'm a collector, I can speak to this. Now, when it came to the Chadwick, I mean the T'Challa with the Chadwick Boseman face, that and Killmonger was gone, and a lot of people completed that set so you could get not Nakia but Okoye. And the Okoye figure, because it's a Build-A-Figure, and me and my brother know about the Build-A-Figures. You know what I'm saying? That Build-A-Figure was expensive until they just re-released Okoye as a separate feature, but you had to build that figure in that Black Panther wave. And if you know anything about Hasbro, they do things in waves, and especially when it comes to their movie first figures, and if a wave is hard to find, that's measures. I'm not joking with you. This is coming from a collector that measures the success of the actual movie that is tied into the movie. If they're buying a lot of the merch, the toys and stuff like that, it means the movie must be excellent because everybody wants that merch. Everybody's going to get that merch. I give you an example. Eternals came out. A lot of that merch, you can still find some of that at discounted clearance prices. You know what I'm saying? Because people like the movie. They like certain characters, like Angelina Jolie's figure was pretty gone. But I remember literally seeing that whole entire wave on clearance at Walmart. You know what I mean? Thor: Love and Thunder. I mean, eventually that wave, because there was certain characters in that wave that people wanted. Because it wasn't just all of the figures from the movie, but still, the what if line. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the first Disney Plus wave with Wanda, Vision, Falcon, because basically you create Falcon's vibranium wing. Man, that stuff went like hotcakes. That stuff went like hotcakes. But those are a lot of the hot shows. You know what I'm saying? You got U.S. Agent. You got like I said, Falcon, Winter Soldier with the haircut. It was a lot of that stuff that was just gone. You know what I mean? Because it was part of the wave. He said the way they can get T'Challa back is through merch selling poorly and low ticket sales. I'm happy. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. That's what I'm starting to see. And then a lot of the people complaining that that it wasn't what they expected. It was a little boring. Why didn't they put Namor in jail? Why is this super advanced race of people getting blown up by water balloons? I've heard it all. You know what I mean? So again, this is a way for them to bring back T'Challa in the future. You have the incursions, and I brought up an excellent point where they could be able to have a variant T'Challa could have a version on his Earth, right? And I don't know how they're going to do incursions in the MCU, but incursions in Marvel Comics is the planets coming together and boom. You know what I'm saying? The both worlds is gone, like a 838 universe and a 1619 universe collide together and boom, both of them are gone. You know what I'm saying? I said there's a way for one to be able to escape, you know what I'm saying, off of his home world, end up time displaced in the 616, or have them time displaced in Battle World when they do Secret Wars. You know what I mean? Because in Secret Wars 2015, T'Challa plays a big vital role in that comic in Secret Wars. So let him come back in Battle World. You know what I mean? Because there's variants of everybody. And if one anti-recaster says one more thing about variants, man, you can't do no variants, dude. They literally, and this is why I could tell people are not fans of the source material. They just want to argue. That's what I feel like. They just want to argue, or they're not even watching the stuff that they complain about. Because I for one swear that they did this on Loki. You see all them Lokis? Loki, Lokis. Right here. All them Lokis. You see them? All them Lokis. And they're all the same person from different areas. Right? They're all the same. They're all the same Loki. But yet you tell one of these anti-recasters, oh man, you can't do that. What are you doing? That's ridiculous to do that. I'm just saying there's a way to do it, and the MCU has already proven it. So what do you guys think? Is there a way for them to bring back T'Challa with this new evidence from a Disney cruise? This looks better than the actual movie that I watched. You put it in the comment section and tell me what you think. Yeah. Nah. All right, let's get to The Last of Us. And I'm going to show a couple of shots. And I watched some of the actual I watched this last night. But I watched a couple of the channels that I watched, and they were talking about The Last of Us and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go through a spoiler review here. If you have not watched the episode, please leave now. Okay, but a recast is my preference, and I'd rather have a recast. But if they don't do a recast, I'll settle for a variant. But what I'm not going to settle for is T'Challa Jr. I said that before the movie is coming out. I'm standing on that. That's not the same character. This is not the same person. That's why I kind of wish that they would do the incursion that they did in the comics. I remember I was reading Deadpool heavy. And they did the 2099 Deadpool was destroyed in the incursion. So I kind of wish they would do that here. Blues House, what's going on? What's going on, my brother? Like Thunderbolt Ross. I rather personally, I'd rather have them do that and do it with the King of Dead storyline. Because if she couldn't help it, if he died, man, you do the King of the Dead and have him revive. I don't know where they took him. They took him in a ship. I just wish they'd do the King of the Dead storyline. But hey, who am I? Matter of fact, according to the last person that put a comment in my comment section, I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't collect comics or anything like that. He has more comics than I do, probably. But yeah, okay. All right. So let me share my screen real quick. And we're going to go into The Last of Us. This is Please Hold My Hand. Now, I'm not going to put any of actually, what I'm not going to do is actually play the video. I'm just going to skip through a couple parts. At the beginning, she was over there. This is Ellie. Ellie was doing her best taxi impersonation in this episode. And this episode was really, I think, less than an hour. So this is one of the shortest episodes. But what I was going to say is that everybody one person, because that's Grace Reynolds. Grace Reynolds, and I got respect for Grace Reynolds, so don't take anything I'm saying like I'm slighting her or anything like that, because I do have respect for Grace Reynolds. Because she's a movie critic. I'm not a movie critic. I'm just a guy who likes shows. I'm a former actor, and again, I look through things in a story format. Again, I've said that before. How does the story progress? And in the beginning of this, she goes full taxi driver, trying to pump herself up to be this badass with a gun. Because remember, she took the gun from Bill's house in the last episode. Let me see. Yo, The Last of Us is fire. I'm really enjoying the show. Never played the game though. And I'm the same way. Never played this game, have no idea integral parts of the game. I'm learning as I go along. You know what I mean? Now what a lot of the people that's reviewing this, it was giving their thoughts on it, was comparing this episode to episode 3, as far as it didn't live up to what episode 3 did. The problem with that is that episode 3 was a single isolated episode that showed a progression through time of when somebody first interacted with this person and what the end result is at the end of that result. Still beautiful story. I know a lot of people had there's some people that had problems with the gay scene and stuff like that. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I personally didn't have a problem because that it don't phase me like that. You know what I mean? I saw characters progress, and I've told this to friends and coworkers who have watched the show. You know, you can interchange those particular people to a heterosexual couple or two women, as long as the story flowed the way that it did, it really didn't matter to me. You know what I mean? So he said Grace been off a little lately with her scoops of reviews. She hella funny to me though. What Grace messed up at is that last episode she didn't know really anything about the game. Then I guess she read up on the game or started watching videos. I don't know what she did. Now all of a sudden she was speaking like she was an expert of the game or whatever. Like, oh, this happened here and this happened there. And then she was talking about Bill and Frank in a spinoff show. No, they don't. No, they don't. You know, from what I do know about the game, Ellie is gay herself. You know what I'm saying? So if you like that, then they're probably going to do that in a later episode instead of with Bill and Frank. They do it with Ellie and whatever girl she's in love with in the future. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I do know that she's gay. I do know that from the game. For what I know of the game. You know what I mean? And that's just following different people. You know what I mean? But Grace was talking about they need a particular show for them, and I'm like, no, you don't need that. I will say this episode takes place. They went through Pittsburgh, so I believe in the game they're supposed to go through Pittsburgh, but lo and behold, they stop in Kansas City, which I live in Kansas City. Only thing they showed was the backdrop of the city. None of this resembles Kansas City. It resembles the bot. If anybody knows anything about Kansas City, this looks like the bottoms more than it looks like downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Because trust me, I used to live downtown. It doesn't look anything like they portrayed in the show. But Ellie and Joe, go and get some gas. They go inside for some gas, and they have a little funny montage where she picks up this book, and they're just and it's basically a book of like puns, which I absolutely thought was hilarious. You know, the no pun intended. I think it's two, which she's pointing at right here in there. So they go and they're on their trip on the way, and they stop in Kansas City, but they had to go and stop and get gas first. So just look at, and one thing I do like about this, man, this looks amazing. I don't know how they shot it, honestly, but this looks incredible. Not even gonna hold you. This looks incredible. But you like I said, I'm skimming through it. She ended up giving them a tape. I think it was Hank Williams that they were listening to. I mean, I wish they had a little Johnny Cash in there, because man, I bumped some Johnny Cash on my way to Kansas City. Or if they would have had Michael Jackson's "I'm Going to Kansas City," that would have been dope. I'm not gonna lie, that would have been dope if they was listening to "I'm Going to Kansas City" on the way there. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna hold you. This looks like the bridge. This looks like, I honestly, and I'm not joking with you. When it was a point in there that was talking about they were on I-70, and she was like, it is long, and I'm not joking. I-70 is long as hell. It's long and it's boring. Oh, when you go through Kansas through I-70 going to Colorado, boring. And it is the worst drive ever. And it feels like it goes on forever until you get into Colorado. But when you go on I-70 going towards St. Louis, going towards like you're going to Chicago or Memphis, there is a bridge. I think it's right outside of Springfield, I believe. And that bridge looks just like what you see behind here. It looks just, I'm not joking. It looks like that. The only thing on the outside, there's a big mountainous hill that you can look over the landscape from because the Missouri River is down here. In this favors that area in Missouri, but except they put a lot of this is supposed to be post-apocalypse or whatever, but I'm not joking. This favors this a lot. This was very, very good film work with them. Blues said the producers of the show said that with the filming in Vancouver, Kansas City made sense to do instead of Pittsburgh because of resemblance. And yes, for me being a Kansas Cityan, you know what I'm saying? Which is funny because one reviewer said, who was it? Was it Heavy Spoilers thought it was Kansas? And what's the other one? Because I was watching them earlier. Said it was like there's Kansas City is in Missouri, and God, he has Doug the dog. What is the name? Screen Crush. Yeah, Screen Crush. You know what I mean? So I thought that was I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was awesome, and it was funny because a lot of people don't know there's a Kansas and a Missouri. Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. And fortunately, I've lived on both sides. And kind of just showing here, they're driving, and there was a spot where you see a lot of buffalo too. Oh, I think I passed the part where she was looking at Bill's nudie book, and it's funny because again, I believe in the game she's gay. Spoiler warning. But I think that was her first time actually seeing a man's thing. You know what I mean? So she got a kick out of it and threw it out the window. But she made a joke. She was like, why is the pages stuck together? And I died. And then come to find out, they say it in the game. I'm like, dude, I think I missed out on playing this game. So they go and they camp out in the woods, right? And to me, if you're running from the rebels, you run from monsters and stuff like that, I think the woods would be a great place to be at, unless you out there with the cocaine bear. Now, if you out there with cocaine bear, then that's a different story. First of all, what he's cooking right here is Chef Boyardee ravioli. First of all, I didn't think ravioli could last that long. For one, I never thought ravioli could last like 20 years. Like, yeah, this 20-year-old ravioli. That's nasty. That is nasty within itself. But what I like about this is that, again, people are comparing this to episode 3 and say, well, episode 4 is not as good as episode 3. Let me tell you the significance of episode 4. It shows progression. You see a character who was afraid to open up to a character, even though the character was open. Bill and Frank is literally the representation of Ellie and Joel. When you first met Frank, Frank was in a hole, got a gun pulled on him. He didn't trust him. He didn't do anything. As time progressed, he still fed him, but he still didn't trust him. They had a little different dynamic because they were in love and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But slowly but surely, Bill opened up to Frank. And you see here, they're having a meal together. They're spending time. They're bonding. She's really trying to get him to open up. And they finally start to allow Joe to open up his heart. And the reason why, of course, it was so hard and because he lost his daughter in the first episode. So he's looking at this little girl and now figuring this is the time to start kind of opening up just a little bit. You know what I mean? So I do like that progression of them opening up and they're doing it over a meal. So, and again, this is the same thing that we saw with Frank and Bill. And when people compare Frank and Bill together, or the last episode, here we see that Joel actually sleeps on the left side of his ear because he's deaf in one ear. You know what I'm saying? He says it's from firing a weapon, which I do like. And at the end of this, listening to the producers and stuff like that talk, they said they wanted to make Joel human. He can't just be a Superman like he is in the video game. Because again, it's a video game. You could be, as long as you got med packs and stuff like that in video games, you could be unstoppable. But here in a story, in a show, you can't make this dude just get bullet wound after bullet wound after bullet wound and pull out a met kit and he'll be all right. It's not realistic in the world they're trying to create for a show. So I do like that they said that they gave Joel a weakness. You know what I'm saying? So I do like that part. And this is what I'm talking about here. When he's sleeping, you know what I'm saying, with his left ear up in his right ear to the ground, because he is deaf in one ear. But again, this filler episode, while she's just reading out puns, you know what I'm saying, is a way for them to bond. And I think that's the greater part of this, is the bonding process. How can we feel for these characters if they're not bonding with each other? If we went, and this is what I get upset about a lot of critics that just want to see, action, 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 and don't like story, is because it reminds me of the movies back in the 80s. Now, I'm an 80s kid, and I love that era of movies when it came to the action star. But a lot of the action heroes and the action stars, there was no story. We don't know why we don't know why Schwarzenegger is the way that he is. We never got a little backstory, never got time for it to breathe, fighting the Predator. You know what I'm saying? Or stuff like that. Now, Terminator is a little different. You know what I'm saying? Terminator 2 Judgment Day is one of my favorite movies of all time. But, when you talking about the action hero genre, we did not get that with those particular characters. We don't know why Action Jackson does what he does. You know what I'm saying? Hell, we don't even know what Lowdown Dirty Shame. We don't know why Shame does where he does, and it's put into a perspective where we understand, and now we start feeling for the character when certain things happen. If Joel starts progressing as a character, just start looking after Ellie and start loving Ellie like he did his daughter, well, certain motivations is going to happen, and then we'll understand. But if we never get to that and it's just action and monsters and shooting, we're going to lose a lot of the character growth and development that makes the show great, that makes us feel for the characters when they're in those predicaments. Hold on, Blue. I'm getting to your comment real quick. This is how you do filler episodes, though. You showcase the character development. Lets you fall in love or hate the characters. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is a filler episode. At the same time, it's a filler episode that gives you a parallel to the last episode that you have, because again, you see the progression of these characters. So again, they wake up here and she starts smelling the coffee. Hold on. Oh yeah. He's drinking a cup of Joe. I ain't mad at him. I'm missing my cup of Joe right now. But again, they're bonding at this time. This is what you want to see. You want to see the characters in this way bonding, this way talking talking like normal people. You know how hard it is to watch a movie and see people talking that don't talk like that? This is the problem that I had with She-Hulk because people don't talk like that. And they were doing it in She-Hulk. I'm like, oh my God. Like, dude, are you serious? Nobody talks like that. But they're talking like normal people. Again, a lot of the dialogue is ripped right from the right from the source material. But they were talking like normal people. So I believe that was awesome. And again, they ripping a lot of stuff from the source material. Now here is when they enter, and again, I don't know where this is in Kansas City. I put this on everything I love. I've been in Kansas City, I don't know how many years, almost all my life. I've never seen this. Never seen this part. But it's like downtown next exit 5. I'm like, where in the hell are it could be they're going, but see the problem if they're going around there's a bend that goes around. There's 35 north, 35 south, and then 35 north, and then downtown 5 exits has got to be somewhere on I-70, but it doesn't look like this. Or this could be, I know what they're making it so this is at the down, this is close to going to the downtown bridge, but the problem is they're too far up. It's got to be back some ways. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking this as a Kansas Cityan too. It's got to be back some ways. So here is a beautiful shot. Oh, hold on real quick. That's not the beautiful shot that I was looking at. Hopefully I can catch it. I think this is it. Please. This is a beautiful shot of Kansas City, but these are how, if you look at the trucks, if you clearly look at the trucks, these are all models. I could tell that there are models, and they film them into the models just the way the concrete, the sign. This is a diorama, and I don't know where this is in Kansas City, but this is the Kansas City skyline back there. But that ain't Kansas. That ain't Kansas City. Trust me. that. Oh my God, that's funny. That's funny. Matter of fact, there's no train. There's no trains because we have a train system down here. So they go in there, and now again, this favors. Now I'm not gonna lie, this favors certain parts of Kansas City, but the problem with this, it needs to be hilly. You know what I'm saying? When you go through downtown, there's big ass hills, and stuff like that. And especially over on the wine, off of Wyandotte, off of Main, Broadway, those particular places, there's not a Globe Cinema, but I probably couldn't use that. That looks like a Radio Shack. I couldn't even tell you. This doesn't even look like Maine. This looks kind of like Grand, but it doesn't. Of course, I know that this is Vancouver, this is fake, but they started to go into Kansas City and they start to run into the rebel groups or whatever, and there's a rebel faction that they meet in here, and you start to see some of the burnt ash. Let me kind of skip ahead here. You see okay, so this guy that you see here, this guy is playing the get help. You know what I'm saying? I need help. And he is a setup. That's all he's there for, is to set up. Because the rebels now, for what I understand in the game, the humans are just as bad in this game as the actual guys with the spores. So this guy sets them up. Joe and Ellie has to get away, and they end up crashing the car inside of a laundromat where they get ambushed. And this is part of the ambush right here. Again, they're just rebels trying to get supplies and stuff like that. They're, and what they're showing is that, everybody's losing their humanity. So we get to a point where Joel is being attacked by this guy, and we seen Ellie right there. She sees this and she goes and grabs her weapon. Now, in the process of grabbing her weapon, it's now time to make sure that this dude gets off of Joel. And again, this parallels when Bill was out there shooting the rebels that was trying to get into his fence, and Frank nursing him back to life. This is basically the kind of the parallel of the bonding process. So this guy goes, hold on, I think I skipped it. And then you see now Ellie shoot the guy. And you see by this face, you know what I'm saying? It's coming to reality. Remember in the beginning of the episode, she was being a badass. She got the gun. You know what I'm saying? She's mirroring a lot of the movie The Taxi Driver. And now all of a sudden, she thought that that shit was gonna be sweet, basically, and she's finally realized, well, you got to do what you got to do. You might have to pull a bullet up in the mug, and that's exactly what she did. You know what I'm saying? Then the guy is begging for his life. You got a mother, all of that, and Joe was like, "Yo, hold up." You know what I'm saying? Give me that. I'll take care of it. And took the guy's knife. You know what I'm saying? Told her to go chill out. You know what I'm saying? And he ends up killing the guy. And literally, to me, off-screen deaths and screams are more horrifying to me than actual, like, did I miss my brand? I did. Actual seeing it for myself. It is literally like hearing somebody scream is horrific. I'm not even gonna hold you. It is horrific. So, this guy is literally screaming, you know what I'm saying, for his life. I forgot to put that up. I don't know why. I'm halfway through this now, and I just now put this up. So now Ellie hears the screaming this guy, and for what I understand in the game, you go in and move objects around so nobody gets in the monsters and some of the humans, which is cool. Which I love. I love HBO does a commentary at the end. You know what I'm saying of this. So they go and they hide out at like the 35th floor. So they could get some rest. Nobody could be able to bother them. And we meet up with a woman named Kathleen. And in here, we find out Kathleen is the leader of this rebel group. This is a doctor right here. One that delivered her is what we're told. And, he has been giving up information to, I can't think of the name of the group right now, but it's the factious group, the government who, at the beginning of The Last of Us in the very first episode was declaring martial law. They were, basically they were the law. They were the enforcers for the government. Now they have taken over Kansas City, kicked them out, and now they are judge, jury, and executioner. So Kathleen is a new character for the story, but there's just showing you that, hell, these people are just as bad as the people that, they just got rid of. If you just got rid of these people are just as worse. So we meet up with her, and again, she's the leader of this factioned group, and she's rallying the troops to go find Henry. Henry is a guy who gave up more information about what's going on in Kansas City and different things like that. And you see all these people. I don't know what's going on with this helmet on this lady, but she looks like she doesn't need to be there. She need to be somewhere else. But she's a leader of this group, and she's grabbing a lot of the troops here to go with their cause, and they're going to use this dude's death to promote their cause. So keep that in mind. And sometimes they do that. People will use a death or someone to give fuel to a fire to be able to cause a revolution in anything, especially when you're talking about a fascist group. And This lady goes back in there and literally smokes the doctor. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I live in a apocalyptic type of world. I think I might need him. You know what I mean? I might need that doc, but no. She wanted to show us how cool she was, and she's shooting people. Now, we go from Kathleen again. She's rallying the troops in here, and I'm trying to get to this one particular part. This guy here plays the brother in the video game. He was a motion capture guy in The Voice. Super awesome. I don't know the guy's name. I'm not even going to pretend like I do. Super awesome to know that that they are actually using some of the people from the game in this particular show. So I think that that was awesome. Let me fast forward a little bit. Now, I remember in this episode, Ellie was so looking forward to looking for tanks and all this. These guys are literally militarized Kansas City in all of this. And now Joel and Ellie, they got to make sure that they get out of this thing alive. You know what I'm saying? So they basically hide out. And again, more bonding moments. This is again another bonding moment for Joel and Ellie. You know what I'm saying? In this particular portion, you see them now bonding over. They're going to bond over the gun. He's going to show her how to be able to use the gun. But she's also revealing to them, yo, this is not the first time I had to kill someone. Which again plays into the progression of that particular character. And again, when people just want action, 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 you don't see a progression of a character. Why are you watching the show? I can't get into somebody who's invincible, who does not have any humanity, someone that I can't understand. So, and I'm getting ready to wrap this up here. And again, their bond here was unique. Um, Again, I like the way that they're bonding really literally on how to be able to use a gun, how to be able to hold a gun. You know what I mean? Now again, you see that smile? She ain't innocent. She is not innocent whatsoever. So she's been here, done that before, but now he gained her trust. And that is the big thing. Trust. Especially in a world like this where trust is essential. You need the trust of the people or the person. So here they're going to go look for Henry. And again, Henry is a I guess a big character in the game. So they're going out looking for him and they stumble over something. Well, they think they caught up with him or whatever in this, which this is the last place that Henry and his brother was. And I like the symbolism here. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like Henry and his brother are super people or supermen, or they're just trying to save humanity. So she's basically on their bumper real quick, trying to find out where they're at. Now, one thing that she did stumble across is this big crater in the hole, right? And he was like, "Hey, just leave it there." First of all, the thing is moving, and we know that these creatures, they use a hive mind type of method to be able to communicate with each other. So they're all underground. What the hell caused that, and why she's not cooking it immediately or blowing it up? You know what I mean? So again, everybody was like, "Where the monsters at? Where the monsters at?" Even I kind of was like that until I was like, "No, I need to find out why this ties into this." And now it looks like some creature is sitting under there, and they like, "Nah, we got bigger fish to fry. Let's leave that." You know what I mean? There's no way. There's no way in hell that I would have left a crater that's movie to be like, "Yo, let's get up out of here. Let's just shut the door." You know what I mean? That's stupid. That's stupid. Knowing what society looks like, knowing what these things are capable of. So now you go here, and Joel and Ellie is just trying to find a place to be able to go to. They've been walking up a flight of stairs, and I was listening to Grace, and Grace was like, why do they keep talking about his knees? Look, when you 50, when you're over 50, your knees hurt, baby. Your knees hurt. I don't know if Grace is close to that, but you know, they up in here pulling Ghostbusters 1, going up the flight of stairs. If going up the flight of stairs to my job hurts my knees sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not close to 50, but man, you know what I'm saying? It makes you want to stop sometimes. You know what I mean? So they go up here, they're finding shelter. And she kind of rib them a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Tell them to get up. So they go and find shelter, literally, you know, up in a little ways in this area. And I want to say it's an office building that they're in. So they put together the MacGyver kit to try to keep somebody from getting out. And again, this parallels their scene from when they were in the woods. You know what I'm saying? He's now looking at her. They're talking. They're talking about the first. They're talking about the first time she's had to hurt someone. You know what I mean? That is progression. Remember, he didn't want to talk about what was going on with him. She didn't want to talk about what was going on with her. This is progression for the characters compared to where they were at, you know what I'm saying, a while ago. You know what I mean? So, you know, they're telling more jokes. Again, he turns on his side because of the hearing disability that he has. So we go here and we go to the end of the episode. They're laughing over the corny pun joke, which was funny though. You know, did you know diarrhea was in your DNA because it ruins your genes or something like that. But it was pretty funny. I liked it. I particularly liked it. And again, that's with them bonding. You know what I mean? And you have to allow these characters to bond. And then we see Joel being woken up, and this is Henry and his brother. You know what I'm saying? Staying over here, and it's a parallel again. A kid with a gun compared to Ellie at the beginning of this with a gun. Everybody in survival mode. Everybody's trying to find a way to help. And this was cool because it was like, shh, be quiet. And that was the end of the episode. And again, with this particular episode, I really, really like this show. I absolutely love this show. Again, I'm falling in love with the characters. I understand the gray areas when the guy got killed who was playing to help, even though it was an ambush. I felt for the character because I was like, I don't know what the root for this guy. I actually really want him to be shot. And that's a duality that I'm facing on this show. So I love that. I love the progression of Joel and Ellie. I love the way that they're tying even 2 episodes together as far as the progression. Now we're starting to see what motivates Joel to be able to protect Ellie, just like Bill protected Frank and then Frank protected Bill. The whole entire 9 is in this show. So again, what do you guys think about this show? Don't forget to put it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for sitting down and checking this out with me. I really appreciate you guys. You know what I'm saying? For hanging out. You already know what it is, man. Let me get up out of here. Make sure, again, you put it in the comment section. Tell me what you think about the show. Do you like it? Did you dislike it? Did you dislike episode 4? Just let me know in the comment section. Again, peace and Vapire. Let me get up out of here. If you came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking around for the entirety of the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you want to get a little more personal with me, hit me up on my Instagram, hit me up on Twitter, or any of the social medias that you see below you. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher.